What's up, guys? My name is QD Asdani, and you're watching my channel Koraiwood. We are starting this series or playlist of jQuery. So we're going to show you step by step what is jQuery, all the basics of the jQuery, how the jQuery started. So what we do with jQuery, how we gonna manipulate the jQuery, we're gonna show you the DOM. We're gonna show you all the JavaScript libraries because the jQuery is optimized version of the JavaScript jQuery. Like that is the motto of the jQuery is write less, do more. So soon we're gonna show you the all the libraries of the jQuery, all the plugins of the jQuery, how we're gonna build our methods, our own methods, how we're going to use the jQuery's built-in methods. And you can see here that jQuery is very popular. It has a motto of write less, do more. Whatever you write long lines of code with the JavaScript, you can write exactly the same code, or if you want to achieve exactly the same result with very less lines of code in jQuery. So jQuery is a JavaScript library, but it makes your job a lot easier than if you're used to with the JavaScript. So jQuery can manipulate all the documents inside the HTML. If you're familiar with CSS, or if you're familiar with all the objects of the elements of the HTML, say div, our anchor tag, our p tag, whatever tag you're familiar with, jQuery is the language that you're looking for. It makes your job. You can target any elements or objects inside the HTML. All right, so without further ado, we're gonna start our jQuery. We're gonna see who started the jQuery, how jQuery works, and what jQuery is. So what is jQuery? As I said before, jQuery was created by John Rezaik in 2006. jQuery is a JavaScript library which is lightweight and cross-platform. As I said, it's a JavaScript library. So don't think that the jQuery is something come out of the sky, or some aliens created this one. Now you're wrong. jQuery is just like Ajax, or just like Node.js, or just like a Vue, or just like any other JavaScript library. Is just a JavaScript library, but it's a very lightweight, and it's not in megabytes or in gigabytes. Is whatever you download it is just a few kilobytes. jQuery is free to use whichever way you want, and it's open source license under MIT. Just like if you're familiar with JavaScript, our HTML, our CSS, our PHP, jQuery is exactly like that. It's a free. You use it whichever way you want to use it. You can use it for your apps, for your websites. You can use it for whatever purpose you want to use it. It has a huge plugins to make your job less stressful. As I said before, it has a huge library, or it has a huge library of plugins. jQuery learning curve is very shallow and very easy to learn. There is not a It's not a rocket science, or it's not something that you guys can learn. It's very easy. With just a few lines of code, you can learn. What we do in jQuery is just we chain some methods together, and I'm going to show you shortly how we're going to change some methods together. You don't need to learn all these classes, or you don't need to learn all these attributes of methods. Whatever you learn in object-oriented programming, you just learn few lines of code which we're going to change it together. To fully understand jQuery, we need to understand the DOM, our document object model. jQuery makes iterating and traversing DOM easier via its built-in methods. jQuery makes it easy to your own methods. If you guys are after the DOM, and if you don't know anything about DOM, I have made a JavaScript playlist, our JavaScript tutorials. You guys can go and watch, where I have explained the DOM in depth, so you guys can go and watch that. But I'm going to explain here the DOM. What DOM is, it's not something like very scary, or it sounds very scary, but it's not very scary. It's everything, whatever you can see in this page. If I put this page in HTML, that's a DOM. So you can see here there is header here, there is here there is paragraphs, or you can see inside the HTML, but this is the slide. But just pretend this is the HTML. This is all, whatever it represents here is a DOM, because DOM sees everything as objects, our nodes. jQuery makes it easy to add your own methods. So when you use a jQuery, you can use your own methods as well. You don't need to use the you don't have to use the jQuery's own built-in methods. Okay, as I say, explain to you guys what is DOM, our document object model. As you can see here, it's a document. It documents this, represents this HTML. So pretend this is HTML, and whatever you can see inside this screen, we haven't got anything here. There is a logo here. There is something that says my name or my channel name. But whatever you're going to see here, if you put this one in HTML, if you're I tell you to put this one in HTML, you're going to see this, put this one as a header, our H1, H2, H3, whatever header, H5, you're going to see this, put this one this top, and whatever you're going to put this one the content. This is DOM. This is because this represents the document and represents whatever I explained just to you before about whatever you put a header, or you can put a p tag, whatever tag you want to put it. This is object, and it's a model. It's a model as a way that this whole thing represents as a model. So according to Mozilla Firefox, creator of the JavaScript, because Mozilla Firefox is the first company, Netscape, if you remember the Netscape, the old name of the Mozilla Firefox, they are the original creators of the JavaScript. So if you want to learn the history, you guys can go again to the JavaScript that I have already made. You guys can go and see that the history of the JavaScript, where I have explained in depth about the JavaScript, how Mozilla Firefox created JavaScript, why Mozilla Firefox, our you can see Netscape at the old times. This because this Mozilla Firefox used to be Netscape. They have created JavaScript, and what happens? All these wars with Microsoft Windows about the JavaScript. So as I explained, the DOM is a programming interface for web documents. As I said to you before, you can see, you can pretend this is a web documents. So the DOM is a programming interface. Our you can see here our UI, user interface for web documents. So whatever you're going to see inside the HTML, if you this is a slide, but whatever you're going to see inside the HTML, that's a DOM. It represents the page, so that programs can change the document structure, style, and contents. If you're familiar with HTML, because you're watching this because you already know the HTML, you guys can know how the HTML is structured, how the headers are, and how the footers, or how the main contents of the HTML is. This is a DOM. Because you guys can manipulate the style. So if you're familiar with the CSS, our cascading style sheet, you guys can manipulate that one with the DOM. You can manipulate that one with the JavaScript as well. And if you want to learn, if you want to know how we're going to manipulate that as well, again, you guys can go and watch my that JavaScript series, where I have done that with the JavaScript, how you guys can do the manipulation of the style or CSS with JavaScript. You can do that with the JavaScript. You guys can do that with jQuery. You guys can do that because jQuery is a JavaScript library. You can do that. And as I let you know that if you put the say p tag here, and if you want to change the style with the jQuery, you can do so very easy. And we're gonna go through that in future videos. So the DOM represents the documents as nodes and objects. That way programming language can interact with each other. So the DOM, as I said to you guys, how the DOM can change your structure and style, because it sees that represents the document as nodes, and it says as objects, and through that one it can manipulate the page, and it can change the page structure, whatever, in whichever way you want. So the DOM provides a representation of the HTML elements as a network of objects. What is the elements? Say for example HTML elements, all these text here. Behind the scene in HTML, all this writing is like a p tag or a paragraph tag, or you can see this one as H1, our header 1, our header 2, our header 3, and you're going to see this one. There is a lot of say if you've done a bootstrap, we are familiar that everything is a class inside the bootstrap, that we can put this one as a say header, or you can put this one as a slide, or you can put inside your HTML all this CSS, whichever way you want. You can the DOM is so a high level. DOM elements can be thought of as a piece of a web page. So the DOM elements can be described as a div, anchor tag, or p tag, or a class, href, and so on. As I said to you guys before, the DOM elements can be described as anything. whatever you guys are going to see inside HTML. You can see div. You are very familiar with div, our anchor tag, our p tag, our class, href, and so on. Whatever you guys are going to see inside the HTML is a DOM, our document object model. So now we're going to see on the selectors. So jQuery selectors help in identifying DOM, as we explained to you before, DOM, document object model elements in HTML document based on ID, name, class, attributes, types, class, and so on. So I have typed the class twice, so just ignore this. You can ignore this class. You pretend the class is not here. So the jQuery selectors return either an element or a list of elements. So now we're going to see the type of selectors. Selectors is very important in jQuery. jQuery is built on selectors, because when we're dealing with the documents, our document object model, as we said, the document object model sees everything as nodes and represents HTML as a nodes and objects. So this jQuery can manipulate all these nodes and objects in the HTML document is based on their ID. So if you have HTML elements, say here as a P, our paragraph, you're going to see put this one the dollar sign. We're going to see put this one as a P, whatever P you guys going to put it here. You can change the color, you can make a font, whatever you want to do with this P or paragraph, you can do it here. So why they put the dollar sign? This dollar sign represents the jQuery itself, because jQuery is in object-oriented programming is object, is an object of the JavaScript, and they can put a jQuery P. We used to put this one jQuery P, and they done a shorthand of this one as a dollar jQuery. Then we can put a P. Then jQuery, you can see this dollar sign as a jQuery. Then this one means everything, whatever we use it. We use it to select all elements. So when you use this one, it means we select all the elements. And this one now we're going to come here as a class, and you're going to see here as when we say elements of P, it means everything, whatever P. There is no ID at the moment here. So here when you say P, it means that jQuery all the P, because we haven't specified any ID at the moment, because there is no ID. We're going to put the ID in shortly, and this one when we put the jQuery everything, it means everything. So class, we put this one as a dot. So when you see this one dot, say that's a class. So this jQuery selector will select elements class with the jQuery dot ABC. So this dollar sign is a jQuery. Keep in mind, we put this dot, then we put whatever your ID is inside the class. Keep in mind there is this guy here, this guy, there is a hash, it means that's the ID, and dot means class. That's the two things you guys remember. And if you remember this dot and hash, you are good to go with jQuery. So this hash, this will select the ID of dollar sign. Whatever ID, you can put your name ID, you can put whatever ID you want to put in your HTML. Or you can see this one, that's a XYZ ID or my ID. So the hash, it means that's the ID. The dot, it means it's the class. So when we put a dot ABC, it means that's a class. Dot my class, dot your class, whatever class you're going to put inside your HTML. In the HTML, as you know, we have hundreds of class, hundreds of IDs. So whichever ID you want to manipulate inside your documents or DOM, you can put this one as a dot. So when you put this one a dollar sign P, it means you're selecting the whole P. Keep in mind, if you put a div, it means selecting the whole P, a whole div. Or when you put this one, the star here, you can select everything, all the elements. So keep in mind, if you're pulling this one and you're going to see your whole page changes, it means you've done this one here. So when you put if you want to put a specific div with a specific class, you can put this one dot, because this one's going to target that class. So if you have this div, our paragraph, our header file, whatever, with this hash, it means you're targeting that ID of that div. our paragraph, our header, whatever. So you got to put this one as a hash. So attribute, this one, this will select all elements with the href attributes. You can put a dollar sign, and you're going to put this one inside this one as a href. Or you're going to see this one, the last one is the index location. Selects index location starts from the 0. So as you know that with all the programming languages, our index, except Python, index starts from the 0. So 0 means that's this one here, and there is a p tag, p here, paragraph xy, that's index, and that's index is 2, and it starts from the 0. So if you have a p tag here, and if you want to find the index 2, target the index 2, you guys can put p, just put a colon xy, and put it whatever you're going to put. You don't have to put a xy, you can put a b, whatever you're going to put here. So you can put the index number 2 that I want to target, that one. So that's the index location. So this is the whole selectors of the jQuery. Keep in mind, because selector means we are selecting, we are targeting that p, we are selecting the class, we are selecting the ID, and here we have an attribute. This will select elements with the href, whatever the href, because if you're going with the tag or elements, HTML elements, our class, our ID, so what happens with the href? So jQuery also have an attribute that you can target this one. What about the index? So HTML, then jQuery can target this one as well. So it means that jQuery select of all these DOM elements. You can manipulate whole documents, everything, whatever is inside the HTML with jQuery through the jQuery selectors. So how we gonna use the jQuery? First thing first, in the next video we're gonna go on the jQuery because that's the website of the jQuery. That's how we're gonna use. So the first thing is that a lot of folks, they use CDN, our content delivery network. So in the content delivery, you guys gonna put a script in your documents, and put a source, http code.jquery.com/jQuery, because the current version as the recording of this video is 3.7.0 minified. It minified of the JavaScript JS. As I said before to you that the jQuery is a library of the JavaScript. And you're going to see this one, the integrity, it means that's the SHA, that's encrypted, and that's whatever this number has to match the downloaded, whatever the jQuery is offering through this one. So if the mesh, there is some sort of mechanism inside the jQuery, the CDN, if the number is not matching, it means that plugin or that library is hacked. So the number has to match. It means that's the integrity of this whatever you guys are putting with content delivery network. If you have a live website, say for example, if you are running your blog, or if you're running whatever you're running, this is a good option. But when you're doing like we're gonna do that offline, then this is not gonna work. And because if you're offline, because this one needs to connect to this guy here, to the jQuery.com, to this website, and through this website is going to access the jQuery 3.7, the minified version of the JavaScript or jQuery. That's the minified version of the jQuery. So if you're offline for some reason, if you're have say a lot of countries, you have a blackout or you don't have electricity, it means your Wi-Fi is off. So it means when your Wi-Fi or internet is off, it means you can access this one. So this is a good option if you have a live website. But if you don't have a live website, you can go to save the file. So just go to the jQuery website, which we're going to go shortly, and download an uncompressed file, or select compressed file and select all and paste it inside your file. So you can install through the npm our node package manager. You can install this one through the, because node is that's also a JavaScript library, and npm is a node package manager. You can install jQuery. How you going to put this one? You can put this one if you have a node in your if you have downloaded node or yarn, you can put a npm install jQuery, and it's going to install it for you. Or you can put just go into your website and put a yarn in your command line and put a yarn add jQuery. It's going to install that one for you. And if you have a bower, you just put a bower, install jQuery. How easy is that? Just put 3 lines of code, it's going to download for you. But if you don't have, we can go there because we don't have we have a node, but I'm going to show you guys the way because I haven't started the node, which I'm going to do that in the future videos. So I'm gonna then we're gonna go on the file, we're gonna select the whole ones, and we're gonna put this one, we're gonna put in our web application, and we can use jQuery. Keep in mind that compressed file for production, it means that's if you guys wanna use it inside your web applications and you don't need to modify it, you don't need to do anything, is that's in production, you can use this version. If you're in development version, we can use this one. So as I said, explain to you guys about the DOM, our document object model. This is here. So keep in mind, we have a jQuery object. If you've done an object-oriented programming with the classes or with the methods, you're going to see this one. As I explained to you guys, this $, it's a jQuery. This is the first function. We're going to see this one as a jQuery because it accepts up to 2 arguments depending on their number of and type. So, and all of them, they perform different tasks. So if you have done JavaScript, so if you put a var, our variable object, and we're going to create another object, so we're going to put an object variable of say for example object, then this object is going to be dot method. So the object, which is the documents, we have dot ready, which is a method, and we have inside this method we're going to manipulate this one. So we're going to say this jQuery, which is objects, and our object is a document, and then we're going to put a dot ready and dot, if I put a click here, then you're going to see it dot click dot show dot hide. So you're going to see this one, the whole this is the whole jQuery. There is nothing to worry about. All you need is to put a change together here, because here we put a documents if our documents is ready. So it means that it says the first one is the $, which is the short. This $, is short for jQuery. It means jQuery documents. That's our objects. The documents is our object. As I said about DOM, that document object model, this is our objects dot ready. So we're going to put this one if the documents is ready, if everything is loaded, if everything is available. If not, don't do this. So if your documents is loading or not loaded, or for some function that is in the process of loading, it's not going to happen. Don't worry about this. So that's what the whole line is. The whole line says that the documents, which is our objects, and this $, is a jQuery. You can put a jQuery as well, but the jQuery guys, they've done find a good way of just put a $. $, our jQuery document. If our everything is ready, then we can do this function. What we're going to do inside this function, then jQuery, we're going to target this p dot click. It means that if the document and everything inside the ready, then what we're going to do when we click this one, when we select selector, you remember we put a selectors, we put a p. There's a p here. Say pretend there is a p here, and I put a welcome to Korea word, for example, in my p, and I welcome to everybody, welcome to this, welcome to that. When everything the user clicks this whatever here inside the paragraph, and we're going to put this one jQuery this dot hide. So it means when the user clicks on this one, then the jQuery refers to this documents, this whatever here, this one. So this refers to this p, whatever here, hides it from the page. That's what is gonna manipulate this one. Or if you have a button, you can put your button here. You can put all the ID, which we put a hash, or put a dot with the class, in case of class, dot click, and put inside the function. So what happens when the user clicks this one? What happens when it's clicked? Then we're going to see this when it's clicked, then we put a jQuery dot click, then we put this dot show. For example, you have instances of e-commerce when the users goes say for example, if put edit, or there is a button of say delete or undelete or undo. When one say element is hidden, another ones you guys gonna show. So if the users, for example, inside the website, you're going to see this one log out. But if the users outside the website, you're going to put this one as a login. So that's what we're going to put exactly the same one. That's exactly works the same way. So if this hide is on, it means that the opposite one is a show. Then you guys needs to put this one. If you put this one again, it's going to show. So this is the opposite of the show. So when as I'm going to explain to you guys again, that the jQuery, this is short for jQuery. As we said to you, that the most common use of the jQuery is to select elements from the DOM so you can apply some changes to them. So when you see this, as I say, explain to you about the whole line, the document, when our documents and this dollar sign represents the jQuery.ready, it means when it's ready, when it's loaded, and when it's ready and everything's ready, they do this for us. So this is called the DOM tree. And what is the DOM tree? First, we wrap the documents as objects using the jQuery, as you're going to see here. That's a dollar sign, the function, and then you can call ready. Then we can, when we call this, first select this one. When we have this one, the document, then we can call this ready. This ready is a method. Keep in mind, this ready is a method and passing function to be executed when the document is ready to be manipulated. This means that inside the function passed to ready, you can safely access all the elements of your page. This is the formal syntax of the jQuery function. Whatever you're going to see the jQuery, you're going to see this one, the documents.ready. Without this one, it's impossible for the jQuery to work, because this is the object, whatever this jQuery, and the jQuery means the DOM documents here. When it's then it's going to call this method. When it's ready, then it's going to work this magic. So the DOM tree is that when everything is downloaded, then the first one part is that the page is downloaded. That's the first step. The second one is the HTML is going to parse. The third step is that the DOM, our document objects model, going to create, and the fourth step is the document ready fired, and the last step is the handler executed. That's a tree of the document object model, our DOM, which I'm going to explain to you guys in the future through the code. So keep in mind, there is a DOM tree is in the play here. The first one is that the page is going to be downloaded whenever you guys going to see the page, and it happens very quick. The second one is the HTML is going to parse, and HTML is going to see where is the P, where is the H, where is href, where is a anchor tag, where is everything is there. Then the DOM is going to create. Then the whole document is created and it's ready. And document ready is going to fire, and the HTML is going to fire the document ready, and the handler is going to execute it. That's a DOM. So we're going to put the first one is the jQuery documents, and we're going to put this one that's ready. It means that we have fired that ready function here. Then we're going to do this one. When you're going to do this one, you don't have to click. You can do a lot of show, .hide, you guys, there is hundreds of other functions or methods inside the jQuery, which you're going to manipulate the DOM. So there is a DOM trees at play with just a simple 4 lines. You guys, there's a huge things going behind the scenes. So there's a lot of stuff going behind the scenes, because you guys are targeting the first one, jQuery. You guys going to change the method. Sometime you guys going to see the 4 methods behind each other, not just ready but other methods, which you guys going to go see that in the future videos. So this is the whole DOM trees that the play are behind the scenes. So this is the jQuery, very easy, just 1, 2, 3 lines of code, or you guys can put in one line. Don't get me wrong, you can put it like chain it together. You can put this one P here, you can put this hide here, because all of them's got a say blocks here. There's a one block all the way here, there's a second blocks all the way here. So the first block, this blocks is acts as a container. This one, the whole one's acts as a container, because that's inside the jQuery object. And here this one's then here there is a method starts here, and this whole thing is inside the method, so it contains this method. And when it comes here, then the jQuery selectors here, we are selecting the P, then we are issuing this P click, what happens inside the click method, and we put this one dot hide, then we're going to hide the whole whatever the paragraph here. We're going to hide this one. So with just a line, 3 lines of code, we can do incredible things like a hiding, changing. We can do menus, we can show the picture, we can hide the picture, we can load the picture, we can do a lot of things. We can hide the video, we can show the video, we can show the play button, we can do a lot of other exciting stuff which we all gonna go through in the future videos. And then the next video we're gonna go there, and we're gonna start our work. We're gonna go on the download page of the jQuery. I'm gonna show you guys how to use a CDN, how to bring the code, download the select, and copy paste all the code inside our documents, our file. How we're gonna put this one inside JavaScript, because we need to access this one, and how we're gonna use this exactly the same paragraph. We're gonna hide our say photo, our you can hide our video, we can hide our paragraph here, whatever you guys write here. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. And till next video, see you, and bye.